Are you still amazed by Darci Lynne's win on America's Got Talent? Millions of people were mesmerized by her ventriloquism and beautiful voice from the moment she walked on stage. But Darci Lynne is more than just her charming acts. America's Got Talent didn't show us that side of her. We'll catch up with her in this movie and look into the real life behind the shy smiles and cute puppets she wears on stage. This story is about problems, sticking with something, making hard choices, giving up things you want, and life and death. Darci Lynne had no fun when she was only 13 years old. As a performer she is very good, but that's because she has spent a lot of time getting better. She practiced a lot late at night, when her friends were out having fun. She kept going even though she was shy and had stage fear. With her family's help she learned to use her shows to deal with her stress, turning the weaknesses she has into strengths. What did she do to get to one of the biggest places to show off her skills? The story began when this Oklahoma City local, who was only 12, went on stage for America's Got Talent, one of the biggest talent shows in the world. Her eyes sparkled, and her smile was innocent. She held Petunia Rabbit close to her and looked at the judges with a mix of nerves and joy. As soon as the music started, Darci's voice filled the room. The judges and the crowd were amazed as the girl and her puppet sang a beautiful duet. The room went wild with applause when the song was over, and Judge Mel B clearly moved as she pressed the golden bell. Darci, who was doused in golden glitter, went straight to the live shows and into the hearts of millions of people. Darci went back to the stage every week with a new puppet and a new show that mixed ventriloquism with song and comedy. She was so good at making her characters come to life that it didn't matter if they were Oscar the Mouse or Edna the Old Lady. Her shows were more than just fun to watch. They were beautiful and showed that she was talented far beyond her years. The grand finale was the end of her trip. It was a night of tension and excitement. With the help of her trusty puppets, Darci put on a show that was nothing short of amazing. As the judges thought about it, and the crowd waited in anticipation, Darci stood tall and graceful. She was a young girl who had already won the hearts of millions of people. Darci was named the winner of the 12th season of America's Got Talent when it was time for the big reveal. The crowd cheered loudly, and Darci, who was very emotional, gave her dolls a tight hug. She was the youngest person to ever win the show, which made history. And the person who got the most votes in the show's history. They won $1 million and became famous. Darci won because she worked hard and was good at what she did. She was always eager to learn though. She got advice from someone she trusted, who helped shape her. She's not the first kid star to learn from an experienced professional. Justin Timberlake learned from the talented coaches at the Mickey Mouse Club, and Shirley Temple learned from famous Hollywood directors. As a result, Darci just did what they did. Gary Owen became her mentor and was a big part of making her into the captivating actress she is now. He taught her the ins and outs of controlling puppets and her voice, making sure that her shows were technically perfect. Gary did more than just teach people how to do ventriloquism though. He taught Darci how important it was to connect with her viewers, showing her how to read their faces and change her act to keep them laughing. He taught her how to add feeling, humor, and realness to her performances so that each one wasn't just a show of skill, but also a story that people wanted to read. His guidance was very important in giving Darci the confidence and charisma that made her a standout talent on America's Got Talent. Gary still helped Darci after he won the game. As Darci went on her national trips, he continued to help her by coaching her and producing her shows. How did he become her teacher? Darci joined the 2014 International Cinderella Scholarship Program when she was 10 years old. Her parents had pushed her to do so. Her parents and the crowd were amazed by how well she did. She won the challenge and got some advice from Larissa Bonakisti, the current international teen title holder and a well-known ventriloquist. Darci really thought about what she learned and would spend hours practicing and teaching herself every night to get better. Petunia Rabbit, her first puppet, quickly became her close friend. Together they put on shows and events in their community, where their charming acts wowed the crowds. What really caught she liked how ventriloquism helped her connect with people and make them laugh, which made them forget their problems, even if it's only for a moment. Darci also got over her shyness with the help of ventriloquism. She felt free and confident again when Petunia was with her. She could say things she never thought she could say, because the doll became her voice. She practiced for a month, and did what Banakisti told her to do. Then she went on Edmund's Got Talent and won first place. Gary Owen saw her there. He noticed something unique about Darci. Not only did he see her technical skill but also her true love for art. He offered to be her guide right away, and she said yes. Gary became both a mentor and a guide for Darci because of his many years of experience and knowledge. He patiently and precisely helped Darci improve his skills. He taught her the complicated rules of ventriloquism, how to control her lips, give her puppets unique voices, and how to make conversation flow smoothly. Gary's teaching was tough, but also supportive. She pushed Darci to improve every part of her act, and it paid off when she won America's Got Talent. After winning America's Got Talent, Darci quickly moved from performing on TV to performing live. She started a tour across the country called Darci Lynne and Friends Live. The show was a huge hit, with people coming from all over the world to see her perform live. Her shows were fun because they had ventriloquism, comedy and music. She became more well-known by going on talk shows and other special events. She played all over the country, even at the Grand Ole Opry and other well-known places. Because she was so charming and talented, she was a popular TV guest who was often asked to talk about her life and show off her skills. Vogue asked her about her favorite things, artists, and famous crush, among other personal things. She talked about how she found her skill, her experiences, her dreams, and the hard work that led to her success on The Ellen Show. Ellen and Darci looked at the young star's life from her roots in Oklahoma to where she is now. People could see the real person behind the masks because of how honest and humble she was. Aside from that, she started doing Christmas specials that made people all over the country happy. The Darci Lynne My Hometown Christmas special was one of her most well-known roles. In this touching show, she let people into her world by talking about her holiday practices and performing with her puppets. A lot of famous artists and friends joined the special as guests, which added to the joy and party. In addition to Christmas specials, Darci took part in many charity events because she wanted to help others. She used her skills to help causes that were important to her, giving performances at events and fundraisers that try to make a difference. Her act not only made people laugh, but it also made them want to help others, which shows that she wants to use her fame for good. Fans love Darci even more, because these appearances show how caring she is and how much she believes in the power of community. Darci has been interacting with her fans on social media in addition to her live shows. She often talks about what goes on behind the scenes. She performs covers of famous songs at live music events and sometimes debuts her own original songs. Because she did these things, she was able to connect with her fans on a human level and show them how she makes art and lives her daily life. But this isn't simple. It's hard to handle the stress of school and a rising job, especially for a young star like Darci Lynne. But it's not as bad as the battle Darci would have to fight. What fight is this? Check back to find out. When Darci was in the 8th grade, she started homeschooling. Before that, she went to Oklahoma's Deer Creek Middle School every day. Before she began to homeschool, Darci went through the normal ups and downs of being a student, plus the extra pressure of being watched by everyone. She had to learn how to keep her private life and public life in balance so that she stayed true to herself as her fame grew. Even with all the lights and cheers, Darci's first concern was still school, and she was determined to keep up with her work even though she had a lot going on. It took a lot of discipline and time management skills to balance homework, tests, projects, practices, and performances. There were times when she studied late at night or between shows to catch up on her work. It got to be too much though. Darci began having health problems that led to the discovery of cancer. There was shock not only for her but for everyone who knew and loved her. The lively girl who had millions of fans was now going through one of the hardest times of her life. It was very hard to fight cancer. Darci went through many treatments, such as surgery and chemotherapy. The process was hard on her body and her emotions, and it tested her strength and determination. During this hard time, Darci's family was there for her. They came together to support and encourage her no matter what. Clark and Misty Farmer, her parents, and her 3 brothers, Nate, Dalton, and Nick, were always there for her. Darci's desire to act never wavered. Even when things were going badly, she kept practicing music and ventriloquism whenever she felt well enough. The act of acting and her family were things that gave her strength and comfort. Luckily, Darci got the news she had been hoping for in July 2020, after months of treatment and a never-ending fight. She was told she did not have cancer. Not only was Darci very happy and relieved at that moment, but so were her family, friends and fans who had been following her journey very carefully. It was the end of a scary part of life, and the start of a new one full of hope and potential. She has been busy with many projects and shows since she got better from cancer. With her first role in the short film A Cowgirl's Song in April 2022, Darci took a big step into the world of performing. This project started a new part of her career, and showed how flexible she is, and how willing she is to try new things in the entertainment business. Her performance got good reviews, which added to her image as an artist with many skills. She went on her third tour, called My Lips Are Sealed, Unless When They Aren't, from July to November 2022. This tour was a spectacular display of all of her many skills, including her famous ventriloquism, stunning vocal performances, and unique brand of humor. Every show was a brilliant display of creativity that amazed people all over the country. She also went back to America's Got Talent, but this time not as a contestant but as a famous former competitor. She was on the spin-off show AGT Fantasy League, where she first appeared with Petunia, the puppet she loved. Darci later took the stage by herself with just her voice and a guitar, which was a brave and unexpected move. This show showed how much she had grown, and how much she wanted to get away from the idea of the 12-year-old ventriloquist. That strong statement showed how she had grown as an artist, and how ready she was to take on new tasks. During her trip, Darci has shown that she is incredibly flexible and open to new experiences. She continues to amaze and motivate people through live tours, social media interactions, acting parts, and going back to familiar stages. Her story is one of determination, imagination, and a never-ending drive to do the best. As Darci keeps learning new things and getting better at what she does, one thing is for sure, her star will get brighter every year. Some people have even started to use her light to make their lives better. She was determined to use her fame to make a difference in the fight against cancer. After her battle with it gave her a new sense of purpose. Darci spoke out against cancer and told her fans the whole story of her journey in an open and honest way. She took part in campaigns and charity events that were meant to make people more aware of how important early spotting is, and giving money to cancer studies. Many people could relate to her story, which gave hope and support to those going through similar struggles. One of the most important things Darci did was take part in events to raise money for cancer research. She used her talent and fame to bring attention to these issues by performing at benefit concerts and taking part in campaigns to raise awareness. Her work raised a lot of money for cancer research, which helped the search for a fix. One of the main groups that helped Darci with her campaign work was the Toby Keith Foundation in Oklahoma. This is an organization whose mission is to help kids who have cancer. The foundation, which was started by the late country music star Toby Keith, helps kids with cancer and their families through a program called OK Kids Corral. This free home gives kids who are getting care a safe place to stay, as a safe place for families to be during one of the hardest times in their lives. Over the past 20 years, the Toby Keith and Friends Golf Classic, which takes place every year in Norman, Oklahoma, has become a symbol of hope and kindness. The event, which includes a golf game, a gala dinner, and a silent auction, has raised millions of dollars for the OK Kids Corral, a place where families of kids getting cancer treatment can stay safe. At a recent event honoring the OK Kids Corral's 20th anniversary, it was announced that all the money raised from the Toby Keith and Friends Golf Classic would go towards supporting the foundation's goal of giving kids with cancer and their families a free place to stay when they are sick. The evening of the event was full of touching memories to Toby Keith, whose vision and kindness made the foundation's work possible. Toby's love could be felt all over the event, even though he wasn't there. The most important news of the night was the top of the night. The OK Kids Corral would get all the money raised at the Toby Keith and Friends Golf Classic, making sure it could continue to help families in need. They broke their own record for most money raised by making over $3.1 million on the event's 20th anniversary. The money would go straight to giving these kids and their families the tools and help they need. The crowd really connected with Darci's performances and her personal connection to the cause. This made the event a huge success. Her presence brought joy and inspiration to those who needed it the most, which supported the foundation's goal of giving childhood cancer patients a safe and caring place to stay. Young people with cancer have continued to look to Darci for support and motivation. She goes to hospitals, hangs out with kids who are getting care, and tells them her story of how she survived. People who needed it most felt better and had hope when she was around. She showed them that they too could get through hard times and follow their dreams. She also keeps going after her dreams, some of which are very different from her main job as a puppet master. During an interview with Vogue, Darci talked to her friends from her room at one point. A keyboard could be seen in the background, which was a hint at another art project she was working on. It's clear that Darci is very good at playing the piano. She has been practicing since she was a kid. People got a rare look at this side of her while she played a tune on her piano. The fact that her fingers are dancing across the keys shows how many hours she has spent learning how to play the instrument. The world first learned about Darci as a talented ventriloquist, but it was soon clear that she had many other skills as well. Her shows have always been built around singing, and her voice blends perfectly with the voices of her puppet friends. Each duet showed off not only her ventriloquism skills, but also her amazing singing range and control, which captivated the crowds. Darci has a strong connection to music, and she even writes songs about it. Darci is often found with a notebook and pen in hand, writing down words and melodies that express how she feels and what she thinks. Writing songs gives her a way to express her feelings through music, making songs that are both unique and accessible. It shows what an artist's soul is like, and their journey is just starting. Darci is good at more than just singing though. Some of her other artistic interests are drawing and painting, which she does to relax and express herself. Her sense of humor is another one of her many skills. Her wit and comedic timing are big parts of her ventriloquism shows, which get her praise and real laughter from the crowd. For Darci, comedy is an art form in and of itself, and she cleverly mixes it with her performances to make them very funny. Darci has also done very well when it comes to public speaking. Her poise and skill in public speaking and talks show how much she has grown and matured. It's easy for her to connect with people, whether she's talking about her story on a talk show or at a charity event. Another thing that makes her unique is her ability to connect with people and get her point across clearly. Darci is a great artist, and his skills go far beyond what the world saw on America's Got Talent. Are there any other skills you think she might have?